Hi everyone, welcome to the nutrition workshop on Japanese traditional diet known as Washoku. My name is Sayuri and I am the registered dietitian and regional manager at Performance Kitchen. It's a Seattle-based company that develops healthy, nutritious frozen meals. Today I like to present the topic Washoku and Immunity. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll explore what defines Japanese traditional diet known as Washoku and how the dietary pattern can improve our immunity and gut health. With the recent COVID-19 and pandemic, the word immunity has been the buzzword for most people to improve their own health to protect from illnesses. There are many products and supplements to the market that claims to improve immune functions. However, we can improve our immune health through foods, especially Japanese traditional diet. We are going to look at common ingredients used in washoku that are associated with optimal health and immunity. So let's get started with a pop quiz. Where do your immune cells reside in our body? Are they in our mouth, skins, or blood? I'll give you a minute to come up with your own answer, and we'll find out the answer later in this PowerPoint. Let's keep this pop quiz in mind during this class. So let's talk about washoku. Washoku means Japanese traditional diet in English. One significant event for washoku is that the diet was inscribed on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage in 2013. This is a fifth food-related health heritage in the world. Since then, many scientists started researching health benefits of the washoku and how the dietary pattern has brought longevity among Japanese people. And they found that certain foods in the diet have positive effect on the immunity and gut health of Japanese people, leading to longevity. So washoku is also a social practice. It's based on a set of skills, knowledge, practice, and traditions related to the production, processing, preparation, and consumption of food. Washoku is more than just food and eating food. Washoku represents Japanese history, culture, tradition, custom, celebrations, and gratitude. Washoku means Japanese. Washoku means Japanese traditional diet, but also means harmony. Shoku means food or to eat. So washoku is all about incorporating traditional ingredients into cooking with harmony. Like in this slide, when we consume Japanese food, we express our gratitude for the food we eat by saying itadakimasu. That's the way to express gratitude. Because Japan is a small island, we have limited amount of foods available from the land and sea. So we learn from our ancestors to show gratitude for food provided and share with family and community. Okay, so let's look at flavor and dietary components of washoku. If you're familiar with Japanese food, you know that the Japanese foods are very simple with no seasoning overpowering each other. We use only few seasonings in Japanese cooking without too much sauce. And there are five main seasonings that are used in the traditional Japanese cooking. So let's start with sa. So sa means sugar, and it adds sweetness to the food. And shi is for salt, and of course it adds saltiness to the food. And su is vinegar, to add sourness. And sei means soy sauce. Everybody knows it adds more deep, bold flavor to the food. And so is miso, and also add really nice flavor to Japanese ingredients. Japanese seasoning is all about the combinations and ratio of these seasonings. Fresh seasonal ingredients are the key in Japanese cooking to bring the best flavors to the dish without adding too much seasoning. Washoku is nutritionally balanced with carbohydrates, lean protein, and healthy fats. A common grain source is rice, served with miso soup. The meal comes with grilled fish for proteins and healthy fats, and you don't really see a lot of red meat such as beef and lambs in the dish. And then side dish of the fermented food is also served, such as natto and pickled vegetables. So washoku is a very, very balanced meals. Washoku is also served in small plates and bowls, and which have better presentation, and it also helps prevent excess consumption of food. So, what makes washoku one of the healthiest diet for optimal health and immune function? What ingredients or food in the traditional diet that bring health benefits to the gut health? Well, in order to understand this, we need to look at how our digestive system works. So here is the human digestive system. Starting from the mouth, so here is the digestive system. So starting from the mouth to large intestine, a variety of mechanical and enzymatic digestions and absorptions are happening for the body to absorb as much nutrient as possible from food that we eat. Once we chew food in the mouth, which is mainly mechanical digestion of food, there's a salivary amylase in the mouth. It also digests carbohydrates, some carbohydrates. Then the food goes down to the stomach via esophagus. So here's the esophagus. Their food is further digested into smaller pieces with stomach acid. Then it goes to duodenum, so it's right here. Duodenum is a short tube that connects stomach and small intestine. And then in the small intestine, food gets further digested by the digestive enzyme secreted by pancreas and gallbladder to prepare for nutrient absorption of macro and micronutrients. Food reaches to the small intestine, and small intestine is a first entry point for the nutrients to get absorbed by the body. The small intestine is a long tube that has average length of 10 to 15 feet, which pretty long tube. It's the longest organ in human body. This helps body to absorb as much nutrient as possible when food passes through inside a small intestine. Where do you think your beneficial gut bacteria live? That's right. The gut bacteria live inside this tube, the small intestine, protecting the body from harmful bacteria, viruses, and toxins by creating a protective barrier over the intestine. We have to have a defense system there because once the harmful particles enter the bloodstream, It can cause damage to our body by causing inflammation. That is why 80% of our immune cells also reside in the small intestine as part of the defense mechanisms. If we do not have this protective barrier by the gut bacteria and inflammation response from the immune cell, the body is not able to fight against a foreign invader, and it will be too late if they enter the blood circulations and cause systemic damage. So how can Washoku support the gut and immune system to enhance the defense mechanisms in the small intestine? Well, we are now talking about prebiotics and probiotic foods used in Japanese cooking. These two words are one of the most popular words among consumers in the past years, and there's so many research going on right now to find out how gut bacteria work each other to protect the host, which is our body, from disease. I am sure that you have heard of it, but how they can help with our gut health and immunity. All right, so prebiotics are a type of fiber in certain foods that are used for the gut bacteria to grow and diversify. You can think of prebiotics as a main fuel source for the bacteria. The more beneficial bacteria you have, the thicker the protective layer over the intestine. Therefore, it is hard for the harmful bacteria and viruses to enter our system. The gut bacteria particularly likes to eat prebiotic food rich in inulin, polyphenols, and B-glucan. These are high in garlic, onion, artichokes, berries, grapes, brown rice, and other vegetables. Washoku uses plenty of prebiotic ingredients in cooking. How about probiotics? Probiotics are beneficial microorganisms that bring benefits to when ingested through foods or supplements. You can think of probiotics as new friends to your own gut bacteria living in the small intestine. The more friends you have, the more they can build a protective layer, enhancing the defense mechanisms. Probiotics are rich in fermented foods, including natto, miso, kimchi, tempeh, and pickled vegetable. Tempeh is the fermented soy. It's on the right bottom picture. It has a really nice flavor, nutty flavor, and nice texture. So sometimes people who are vegetarian or vegan, they use that as a form of meat. And Japanese people consume these probiotic food at a daily basis. There are other foods that are rich in washoku and support the immunity. Omega-3 fatty acid is a type of healthy fat, and it is associated with reduced inflammation and blood, and a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. So people with heart disease, they can get benefits from consuming omega-3 fatty acid. This healthy fat is high in oily fish such as salmon, sardine, and mackerel. And when you eat sushi or sashimi, you are consuming omega-3 fatty acids, so which is very good for your health. And also, fish are high in lean protein, so it's good for muscle buildings and bone health. Selenium is another nutrient that is associated with optimal immune function. Seafood such as shrimp, lobster, squid are very high in selenium, and often incorporated in Japanese cooking. Selenium reduces free radicals that are associated with cell damage, aging, and chronic disease. Catechin is a healthy compound found in green tea, one of the common teas that are consumed by Japanese people. Catechin can also reduce inflammation in the body and decrease the risk of chronic disease such as diabetes and autoimmune disease. Basically, when you have inflammation in your body, the immune system is in high alert, producing more inflammation to fight against things that do not belong to the body. The result is a chronic inflammation, and this is a gateway to various health conditions. So really, Washoku use lots of prebiotics and probiotics ingredients and keep our immune and digestive system in a good shape. And here is a fun way to learn more about Washoku. Unfortunately, with COVID-19 and pandemic this year, lots of social activities are restricted. But hopefully really soon we go back to our normal life. Traveling will go back to normal as well. So best way to learn Washoku is actually to travel to Japan. So now we can save money for Japan trip next year. Tsukiji Market and Kyoto are one of the best places to start with if you want to learn about real Japanese cuisine and culture. At the Tsukiji Market, you can learn about fish and how fish are treated and cooked in Japanese cooking. Kyoto used to be the capital of Japan a long time ago, and Kyoto has a lot of historic temples, shrines, and then a lot of Japanese culture, historical culture there. Soon, with stay-home order phase approach progresses, you can visit local Japanese restaurants. I recommend you sit at the sushi counter and talk to sushi chef to learn about Japanese cooking techniques. Visit Japanese cultural events such as Japan Week is another great resource. Unfortunately, this year we had to do virtually, but you can still learn many aspects of Japanese culture and food. There are another virtual classes that teach Japanese cookings and also tea ceremony. So I encourage you to attend those classes for fun. Kinokuniya, it's inside the Uwajimaya, is a bookstore that sells Japanese cooking books, animes, magazines, if you like to try cooking food at home, and also learn about culture as well. I hope you enjoy this nutrition class on Washoku and immunity and learn how you can improve your immunity, especially during the COVID-19. I hope you stay healthy and safe. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Sayuri at elocalonline.com. Thank you, and I hope you have fun time during the Japan week.